Hello my friends, Aleese Lightyear here and welcome back to my channel. Just a few days ago, I celebrated my China-versary. I have officially lived in China for 4 full years. Oh my God. And I always feel very happy to share my experiences and the memories that I have made. And to celebrate my 4 years of living here, I wanted to share the 4 truths that I have learned while living in China. As an expat living in China, you can have an extremely high quality of life. China is such a huge country, and each city offers different opportunities for different types of people. For expats coming to China, the job market is booming right now. Because the borders were closed for so long due to COVID, there is a shortage of foreign talents almost everywhere in China. For being a teacher like myself, to working in the tech industry, the car industry, the health or medical field, there are so many opportunities here. Like myself, I came here to China to teach in 2019. I've been making great salaries and I've saved quite a lot of money. And not to mention, I live in a beautiful apartment where the rent is affordable. I'm able to live a great life that's filled with travel, eating out, buying things I want. This is the kind of lifestyle that I wanted so badly when I lived in New York, but just really couldn't afford. I have such a wonderful and beautiful, blessed life here in China. I lived through the insane COVID years here in China, but even through those tough COVID times, I still got paid my salary, paid my rent on time, was able to keep my fridge and my pantries stocked with food. I was still thriving, and I still felt like my life was maybe better than it would have been if I was in the US. China is a hard place to live. Aside from the cultural barriers, the language barriers, it's just a difficult place. Hello. Ni hao. What I was saying. Yeah, I know I just said that you can have a pretty high quality of life living here as an expat, but that doesn't come instantly. There is just a huge learning curve when you come to China. From going to the grocery store and just trying to find one soy sauce in an aisle filled with thousands of soy sauces, trying to find clothes or shoes that do not fit a traditional Chinese body, trying not to lose your temper on the subway when everyone is pushing and elbowing you, trying to go into a Chinese bank and trying to be out of there in less than 2 hours, but everyone is around the computer yelling out your personal information. No one's talking into the translator and you're just trying to figure out what the F is going on. Other things that just make China a hard place for expats to live is the food. You have to do a lot of research to figure out what are the Chinese foods that you just like to eat on a daily basis. Where do you get them? How do you find these restaurants? How do you figure out how to read the menu? What do you do when the waiter doesn't understand and you get the wrong order? What to do if you're overcharged? Like, it is so overwhelming that there are so many foreigners who live in cities like Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, who almost only eat at Western restaurants. Getting to know and getting to understand Chinese people is another thing that makes it so hard living here. I don't want to generalize or stereotype Chinese people. All I'm saying is, as a non-Chinese person who doesn't speak fluent Chinese, trying to understand and get to know Chinese people is not easy. I think that most Chinese people are very, very friendly, and they express their friendliness in various ways. 100% they will come up and talk to you and just assume that you speak Chinese. Yes, they will try to take pictures with you. Yes, they will touch your hair. Yes, if you've got a child, they will want to touch and hold and take pictures with your child. Typically, these types of interactions do not have any malicious intent behind them. People here are just curious, and this is how they express their excitement to see you. I am at the point in my life in China where it doesn't bother me. I sometimes welcome it. It just is what it is. If you come to China to live or to visit or to study for an extended amount of time, I really encourage you to not stay in that foreign, Western, or expat bubble. Don't do that. Go out, make friends with local Chinese people, try to learn some Chinese so you can really start to piece things together, understand local people, and appreciate their culture and their presence even more. Full and very chaotic place. And for some people, they absolutely hate it here. It takes a really long time to just adjust and feel comfortable just living your normal day-to-day life here, and either this is the place for you or it's not the place for you. But either way, I definitely encourage you to come and find out. China truly is one of the safest countries in the world. I can't say it is the safest country in the world because I haven't been to every single country in the world. But compared to my home country of America, it is just on a completely different level.
I never wondered how safe China is. It's this kind of safe, where you can leave your car doors open, keys in the ignition, like go elsewhere. I don't understand. There is nobody.
When I'm traveling, when I'm out in public, or when I'm traveling in China and I've got my camera, my phone, my tripod, all of my gear with me, and I'm taking pictures and I set up my tripod and my stuff is just randomly on the ground someplace and I'm snapping away, taking photos. Yes, people bother me. They bother the hell out of me because they just want to come up and talk and touch me and take pictures. But they don't touch my stuff. They don't touch my camera. They don't try to steal my bag. Like, I feel so completely normal being a content creator out in the wild in China. And plus, since there's cameras everywhere, if someone were to just like come up right now and grab my camera, there's two cameras on the bridge behind me. There's a camera on that telephone pole. And then like I'm kind of sitting in front of this like water plant and there's cameras on there. So if someone were to come and grab my stuff, that's like 7 cameras that the police can check to find my stolen goods. Cameras are everywhere. And I think the perception that people get who don't live here feel like it could be an invasion of privacy, or you always feel like Big Brother is watching you. But the reality is like, I'm so used to the cameras that I don't even notice them anymore. And I feel like in Chinese society, people do not associate cameras with lack of privacy. Sometimes it's almost the opposite. People view cameras as the ultimate safety. Like, I feel like if there's cameras everywhere, you really have nothing to hide unless you are a criminal. And I'm not a criminal and I don't have anything to hide. So whatever, watch me on the cameras. It's no big deal. One of the biggest advantages of having cameras everywhere is that if you lose something, or if something happens to you, or you get in an accident, there is a 99% chance that it will be on the cameras. And that provides a level of accountability that contributes to the low crime rate in China. As a Black American moving to China for the first time, maybe my biggest concern about safety was, would I be assaulted or harassed or belittled in public due to the way I look or how people perceive me, and would I have problems with the police? Unfortunately, there have been times where a Chinese person has called the police on me, or a Chinese person has lied to the police about me, just solely based on my presence. I'm not going to go deep into that. I will say that these instances are not common, but they're also not rare, but they do happen. Have never been violent with me, and any issues I've had usually de-escalate after I calmly and patiently answer their questions. But things like police stopping me on the street to like question why I'm here or ask me something random never happens. It is completely safe for a single, beautiful woman like myself to be walking alone at night and not get approached by anyone. Like, unless they want a picture or they want to know where I'm from, no one's gonna come grab me up. It's totally, totally, totally safe.
Is China safe? Can I walk on a Chinese street at night? As a Chinese vlogger, that is the most common question I have been asked. Actually, I want to say, if you walk on Chinese street, you must be very, very careful. Careful about your wallet. Because when you walk on a Chinese street, you can see there are many streets for the
Traveling in China is incredible. This country has every type of landscape, ecosystem that you could imagine. Mountains, they got that. Desert, they got that. Cold snow Arctic, they got that. Tropical rainforest, they got that. Rocky beach, they got that. Sandy beach, they got that. Cityscapes, they got that. Caves, they got that. Bamboo forests, they got that. From north to south to east to west, there is something different all over this country. And I have been very, very fortunate to be able to have the means and the time to travel to, how many Chinese cities have I been to? Over 10, under 20. Traveling within China is incredibly cheap, especially if you live in a tier 1 city like Beijing, Shenzhen, or Shanghai. Like, these are tier 1 cities are the most expensive cities in China. So anywhere else you travel, it's gonna be significantly cheaper. You can stay in 4 and 5-star hotels for, for less than $200 a night. Domestic flights in China are really affordable. There's the high-speed train that can take you from, Beijing to Hong Kong in 8 hours. It is so easy traveling here to be able to experience totally different environments, to be able to experience the different cultures and environments and people is so great. It really helps you to learn and appreciate more about China. The other great thing about traveling in China is you don't have to change currency, even though it feels like you're in a different place. All the apps are the same. You use your digital wallet everywhere. You use the same taxi app everywhere you go. It's so easy and it's so accessible that if you're here in China, do not just stay in one place. Traveling in China is a whole education because you get to learn so much about literally everything, and it makes you really, really fall in love with this country. Traveling outside of China is also a thing that you can do right now. Apparently, it is very easy to get direct flights from Beijing to Rome, Beijing to Australia, Beijing to Vietnam. All of these things are possible. I honestly wouldn't know because I haven't left this country in 3 years. Soon enough, I will be jet setting outside of this country. Living and traveling in China is a challenge, but the reward is great. I really hope that you have a chance in your life to come here. If you have any questions about moving here or visiting here, I do offer consultations. They're not free, but they are an affordable price. You can hit me up on Instagram and we can get the ball rolling on that. If you guys want more of this style of video of me revealing truths and tips and tricks about living and traveling in China, then let me know in the comments. This has been so much fun. I will see you guys later. You know what it is. Aleese Lightyear, over and out.